Hello there from sunny England. Believe it or not, it's been really nice weather the last few days, but that's probably about to change starting tomorrow. We're entering fall and then winter, but it's okay because I'm really happy to be living here. I have never given a video newsletter update. I'm doing it for two reasons. One being that I have just been incredibly busy lately, and this only takes me a few minutes to do. But more than anything, is because I had some news that I wanted to share that didn't feel right to just share it written, but wanted you guys to just hear my heart and listen to what's coming up next, because there's going to be some changes in my life and in my ministry mostly, and I just want everybody to be on the same page. But first of all, I have moved, I think almost completely now, settled at least in England. I arrived 2 months ago today, and today and really a few days this week have been some of the first days I felt like, okay, I'm home. So I'm recording this from my home. I don't have anything decorated on the walls yet, which is why I have chosen the only wallpapered wall as my background. But I just have to say, first of all, thank you to everybody so much who gave towards this move. I remember back in like March or April, I was looking at my budget and my expenses, and I was thinking, God, it's gonna take a miracle. I don't know how you're gonna pull this off. And I'm sitting here I'm looking at furniture, and I'm in this place, and there's a car outside, and I have found really good, amazing deals on everything that have also made it possible. But first of all, just thank you so much to everybody who has not just given financially, but also just everybody who has prayed for me to get this place and be able to settle here. It was one of the more difficult processes I've ever had to go through. It was always one step forward, 3 steps back, doing everything. There was a lot of spiritual warfare involved. I may have some gray hairs as a result, but I'm settled now, and I'm super happy to be here. I love being at the King's Lodge. It is so the right place for me in this season. I'm so grateful that after 2 years of waiting about which base to move to in Europe, that God finally said, go to King's Lodge. And so, I'm just overjoyed to be here. I'm loving it all the time, more and more. Just a few things related to my ministry. I'm going to be attaching this video to a newsletter with other news, but this particular video is mostly related to ministry stuff. I think a lot of people have wondered, now that I've gone to get my master's degree and I've moved away from Kona, what my work is going to look like now. I can say right off the bat that I'm still with 4K, I'm still leading 4K, 4K still exists, but definitely there's some changes coming to how it looks. Always, my heart is with it. But there are some tasks and some jobs that I was hoping by now a team of people would be doing. But always I've had interns and short-term staff, and they come for a season and they go, and I still end up with a lot on my plate. I love being map queen. I still love maps, but the one-off maps take up a lot more of my time these days than I'd prefer. And so it also got me, just through various orders that people have been giving, it got me to thinking about really what 4K was always meant for, and that was strategy. It was to be used as a framework to strategize how to reach people in different nations. And so after praying about it and talking about it with David Hamilton, my leader, talking about it with Sunny Hides and Leslie Zolman, my co-workers in 4K that helped me make important decisions, and then also talking about it with the leaders here at King's Lodge, I think 4K, it's not like I'll be cutting back on stuff, but more like we're going to reframe what 4K looks like, focusing totally on people who are using omega zones for their main strategy. So that means that if you want a big floor map, or you want a map for PowerPoints, or you just want a map for your wall, that hopefully in the next 6 months our 4K website will be updated to reflect more the strategic side of 4K, and we will have pre-made maps up for people to download, but as far as my part in it goes, probably just the one-off static maps I'll be cutting back on. And it was a really hard decision to come to, which is why I wanted to share it on video, so that you understand my heart, that when Map Queen says I don't really want to make these maps anymore, there was a great deal of grief and sadness, and there were some identity issues involved, and I'm smiling about it now, but there were tears in conversations with different people, and it's just the time for it. So even though there was that, there's also a real excitement to see 4K being focused completely on initiatives like Pacific Va'a Partnership and Bible Poverty Now, any of our YWAM area circle teams regionally around the world that are using omega zones, and then hopefully more partnerships that will be rising up wanting to use omega zones to strategize in their ministry. Those are the projects that we'll be focusing on from now on, and that gets me excited, because that's the stuff that is why I signed on 12 years ago. So that's the big 4K announcement. So if you have just one-off maps that you're hoping to get done pretty soon, you can still contact me. I may forward you on to other people in the mission who do maps like that, but for my part, for 4K, I'm focusing now on strategy. That being said, I'm also taking on some other responsibilities. One of the main reasons that I moved to King's Lodge and Europe as a whole is because I've always wanted to run a second level school of geography. We won't call it that because nobody will take it if we call it a school of geography. We'll call it something way more exciting and enticing for people to take. But I've started having those conversations with people here now, and so it would be a 3-month course studying how people, like what the nations are about, how people are living their lives in these nations, how they interact with each other, how borders work, how territories work, how the gospel has been spread through human geographic processes, and hopefully we'll even look at some of the things that I've just learned in the last year in my master's degree, like conflict and geopolitics and refugee migration stuff. I would love to see a school that really focuses on that. And so that's gonna hopefully come in the next couple of years. It's a pioneering school, so it takes time. Another thing that hopefully will be coming about soon is just me being more involved with the College of Humanities and International Studies here in the University of the Nations. So that means maybe advising more students globally within YWAM that want to get a degree in Humanities and International Studies. Hopefully working more with our dean of the college and the committee that creates degree tracks, and getting more involved in missional education, which is a huge part of my heart that I would just love to see grow and expand. That was a big reason why I went and did my master's, was to be more involved in curriculum and courses and working with students and encouraging more missionaries to get that kind of education, whether it's in geography or government or history or economics, to focus on that. So I'm hoping that my university role will also expand very soon. Locally, here at the base at King's Lodge, I've also signed on to do Wednesday Night Youth Club because I loved teaching high school a few years ago. I realized like I just really love working with teenagers. I think that they're really funny, and as I've gotten older, I've felt more comfortable around them as well. I think it's such an impressionable age. Anybody watching this from St. Ansgar's church in California knows that my teenage years in youth group were very, very revolutionary for my whole life and my whole missions career. And so to be a part of that now with the upcoming generation is really an honor and a privilege. So Wednesday nights I'll also be giving time to some of the teens, both on our base and locally from the city of Nuneaton and Hinckley. So that's just some of the ministry stuff. I was hoping to make this under 10 minutes. It's now almost 11 minutes. But that's just the big ministry update. Is first of all, I'm hopefully going to be getting more involved with schools and training and university college stuff, getting more involved with the youth and the teens here on base, and really just kind of restructuring, reforming what 4K is going to look like, which for me personally is going to look like focusing more on initiatives and projects and partnerships that are using 4K strategically to reach the whole world. So these are big deals, and I haven't even really had the brain power to figure out how to write it all out. But here you go. If you've made it this far through the video, thank you for taking the time. I, of course, would always appreciate your prayers. If you're reading this, if you're watching this from reading the newsletter, please just know that I am so grateful for your support, and yeah, you're on my heart, and I wish I could say each individual person's name through this, but I don't think anybody wants to sit through that. But thank you so much. Thank you for enabling me to be able to continue my work, even though it's gonna start to look a little bit different. I'm really, really, really excited about all of it, and yeah, I just can't wait to see what's in this next season. I would hope someday to train up a bunch of little Jills making maps and being cartographers and researchers and stuff. That would be really, really awesome. So yeah, that's the dream, that's the goal, to get more people trained up in these fields and get a heart for the nations on a way deeper level, so that our impact is way bigger even than what we're doing now. So thank you for being a part of that with me, and yeah, I hope you have a great day, and hopefully I'll see you somewhere in the nations. All right, thank you.